Hi guys, if we haven't met, I'm Sarah. Welcome to my channel. Today the video is 15 facts you should know / should want to know about the planet / climate change / global warming. But I want to start with some statements just to reiterate and push the fact that climate change is real. And I'm going to be reading from my laptop just to get a lot of the information correct, because a lot of it is adapted from certain websites and stuff, so I just want to be clear. Okay, let's get started. Climate change is real. There will always be uncertainty in understanding a system as complex as the world's climate. However, there is now strong evidence that significant global warming is occurring. The evidence comes from direct measurements of rising surface air temperatures and subsurface ocean temperatures, and from phenomena such as increases in average global sea levels, retreating glaciers, and changes to many physical and biological systems. It is likely that most of the warming in recent decades can be attributed to human activities. Observations throughout the world make it clear that climate change is occurring, and rigorous scientific research demonstrates that greenhouse gases emitted by human activities are the primary driver. In its fifth assessment report, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a group of 1,300 independent scientific experts from countries all over the world under the auspices of the United Nations, concluded that there's more than a 95% probability that human activities over the past 50 years have warmed our planet. Okay, so after that intensity, let's get to the 15 facts you should know / should want to know about climate change / global warming / the planet / But, okay, number one. 97% of scientists agree that warming trends over the past century are very likely caused by human activity. And this isn't a fact, but the other 3% are just not agreeing because they're getting paid not to. 1950 is the year when atmospheric CO2 levels broke records from the previous 400,000 years, sharply rising and continuing to grow. 8 inches is the rise in global sea levels over the last century. The rate of rise has nearly doubled over the last 2 decades. 16 is the number of record-breaking hottest years since 2000. 2016 was the hottest year yet. The 9 most explosive fires in America's history have all occurred since 2000, with 2015 having the biggest fire in American history. 10.1 million acres were burned. Estimated economic losses to the United States by the end of the century, if no action is taken on climate change, is $180 billion. Our planet loses 15 billion trees a year. Each year, Greenland loses 270 billion tons of ice as the planet warms. If we keep burning fossil fuels indefinitely, global warming will eventually melt all the ice at the poles and on mountaintops, raising sea level by 216 feet. So this next thing is adapted from National Geographic. I'm pretty eloquent of a writer, but this is a little bit more eloquent. I tried to change it a little bit, but just so you know, it's adapted from National Geographic. If all the ice melted, our shorelines would look completely different. The entire Atlantic seaboard would vanish, along with Florida and the Gulf Coast. San Francisco's hills would become a cluster of islands, and the Central Valley a giant bay. The Gulf of California would stretch north past the latitude of San Diego, but there would be no San Diego. Buenos Aires, coastal Uruguay, and most of Paraguay would be gone. Mountainous stretches would survive along the Caribbean coast and in Central America. Compared with other continents, Africa would lose less of its land to the ultimate sea level catastrophe, but Earth's rising heat might make much of it uninhabitable. In Egypt, Alexandria and Cairo will be swamped by the intruding Mediterranean. London, a memory. Venice, reclaimed by the Adriatic Sea. Thousands of years from now, in this catastrophic scenario, the Netherlands will long have since surrendered to the sea, and most of Denmark will be gone too. Meanwhile, the Mediterranean's expanding waters will also have swelled the Black and Caspian seas. Land now inhabited by 600 million Chinese would flood, as would all of Bangladesh, population 160 million, and much of coastal India. The inundation of the Mekong Delta would leave Cambodia's Cardamom Mountains stranded as an island. Australia would lose its coast, and most of Antarctica would be gone as well. I really just struggled with that. I've read it 10 times in the last 24 hours and it was fine, but on camera, blah, blah, blah. Since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the acidity of surface ocean waters has increased by about 30%. This increase is a result of humans emitting more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and hence more being absorbed into the oceans. The amount of carbon dioxide absorbed by the upper layer of the oceans is increasing by about 2 billion tons per year. The difference between climate change and global warming. Global warming refers to the long-term warming of the planet. Global temperatures show a well-documented rise since the early 20th century and most notably since the late 1970s. Worldwide, since 1880, the average surface temperature has risen about 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Climate change encompasses global warming but refers to the broader range of changes that are happening to our planet. These include rising sea levels, shrinking mountain glaciers, accelerating ice melt in Greenland, Antarctica, and the Arctic, and shifts in flower/plant blooming times. These are all consequences of the warming, which is caused mainly by people burning fossil fuels and putting out heat-trapping gases into the air. What is the greenhouse effect? The greenhouse effect is the way in which heat is trapped close to the surface of the earth by greenhouse gases. These heat-trapping gases can be thought of as a blanket wrapped around the earth, which keep it toastier than it would be without them. Greenhouse gases include carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxides. If all of Greenland melts into the ocean, the earth would rotate more slowly, with the length of the day becoming longer than it is today by about 2 milliseconds. And our last fact. Humans have caused major climate changes to happen already, and we have set in motion many changes still. Even if we stopped emitting greenhouse gases today, global warming would continue to happen for at least 7 more decades, if not centuries. That's because it takes a while for the planet, for example the ocean, to respond. And because carbon dioxide, the predominant heat-trapping gas, lingers in the atmosphere for hundreds of years, there's a time lag between what we do and when we feel it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. They're both just @aware_Solson. Leave a comment down below, anything you would like. Your favorite fact about climate change, perhaps. And make sure to check out the description while you're down there. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.